Today I am in Sutton and Ashfield, which is in Mansfield, Nottinghamshire, and I've just finished grinding out and repointing and reflaunching two chimneys on the property behind me. But I'm waiting for the mortar to go off so I can finish repointing the chimneys. So as I'm waiting to do that, I'm going to start repointing the ridges. However, I'm repointing the ridges. I'm not rebedding them, and I'm going to be doing it with Flexim roof putty. Now, there's a few reasons why I like using Flexim roof putty, and that is that it just saves time. It's instantly waterproof, so as soon as I've repointed the ridges, it's going to be real waterproof. The putty itself is more resistant to frost than mortar. It's more resistant to weathering. It's flexible, so it won't crack. And I know that if I was to repoint these ridges, the chances are, because I can't get enough mortar onto the bottom of the ridges, that mortar will just fall out. Repointing ridges never works properly unless you use Flexim roof putty, which is what I'm going to be doing today, and which is what I want to show you. So I always use roofing putty. It's a little bit more expensive than traditional mortar. It costs about £8.50 a sleeve, or £85 per box, where you get 10 sleeves. Just to show you what it is that I'm talking about. So these ridges here are solid. They're on the roof. They're stuck down to the roof, but as you can see, the pointing is falling off. So I am going to go along and repoint all of this, make it look pretty, make sure it's watertight here, and just to generally make it a nicer job. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go along and I'm going to knock off all this loose mortar, and then I'll get rid of the dust that's left with my blower. That is job number one. When cleaning up these ridge tiles of the old mortar, if the mortar is well stuck to the ridge, it's not worth trying to knock it off, because you might end up doing damage either to the ridge or to the tiles. If it's well stuck, just leave it. You can go over the top of that and it won't affect the job. I've knocked off all the loose mortar from these ridges, giving it a blow down as far as I can reach. It's nice and clean, so now I am ready to start applying the roof putty. Make sure you put some gloves on when doing it, because this roof putty is oily and sticky, and trying to clean it off your hands is an absolute nightmare. Well worth having gloves. Gloves are generally included in the box. They're not very good generally, so I usually just buy my own. This is what a sleeve of roof putty looks like. Like I say, this is about £8.50, and it will get me probably just under halfway, and I'll show you what to do with it. Right, so get your sleeve. As soon as you open the sleeve, you're letting the air get to the putty. So now this putty needs using within a couple of days, or else it goes a bit soft and rubbish. But I generally just get it in my hand like that, scoop it onto my putty knife, and then spread it onto the bottom of the tile. And it's just a case of spreading it on. Now, the fact that it's gone on quite thin over the top of this mortar that's quite solid, it doesn't matter This will stay stuck on there for years. It really is great stuff, so it's good for covering over, and that now is completely watertight as well. Brilliant stuff, this putty. So in total, this ridge and the little ridge behind me, so it's got this ridge you can see here, and then that one, that's taken 5.5 sleeves. So the material cost of this job has cost roughly £42.50, which is considerably more expensive than what it would have cost in mortar. But when you consider how long this is going to last in comparison to mortar, it is much better value. This will last at least 10 times longer than what it would if you'd have just repointed these ridges in just standard mortar, which in my opinion, pointing ridges with standard mortar is a bit of a waste of time anyway. That's my opinion. Right, I'm all finished and I'm back in the shed. I've just put the machine away. Still a load of crap on the back of it, but I will tidy that up tomorrow. But before I leave for home, I've pulled some roofing putty off the rubbish pile, some that's been exposed to the air for quite a while, and I wanted to show you what happens to it when it's been exposed to the air. This is my manky piece of leftover putty, and as you can see, it's been exposed to the air for probably a month. I've just pulled it out the bin. And it never really fully sets. It stays pretty flexible, but at the same time waterproof. But it's not as sort of wet as stuff that hasn't been exposed to the air. You wouldn't be able to spread this onto ridges, for instance. So there you are. And that's what happens to the putty. So there you have it. That is how I repoint ridges using roof putty. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please like, comment or subscribe, and I will see you on the next job. Thanks for watching. Hey Neil, do you know what, mate? I'm still not 100% convinced that this truck is ready for a clean. What do you reckon?